Hey everybody, welcome to Ellis Mowers. I appreciate y'all watching. So I've got my never-ending quest to get out of the garage here. And this one's next. We got a red Craftsman LT1000 I just finished up here. That one plus this one should, as long as this goes well, go to the same owner here, hopefully by the weekend. Worst case, early next week. We'll see. But we've got a Craftsman LT1000. It's got a little bit of a rust issue on the deck. And a couple of cosmetic things we got to change. But let's go ahead and get started. I'll give you a walk around it. Alright y'all, here it is. LT1000 Craftsman. Tried and true, right? This one's, I think, is a little bit of a Franken mower because it has a bunch of conglomeration of different things on it that I don't think should be on it. One of them is supposed to have 18 horsepower intake. It's got a 14.5 on it. Second, it's got a 12 gauge steel deck on it. I didn't think they came with 12 gauge steel in the LT1000s. I may be wrong. Maybe wrong. It's got 6-speed in it. This guy was using it until something happened to it. I can't remember exactly what happened to it now. But you can see it's dirty. Tires are slag. It's been sitting a while. I don't remember what he said happened to this, but I'll show you. I'll show you what's going on with it. It starts and runs. At least it did the other day. And drives. So, got a little bit of an issue with the plug for the ignition switch. It doesn't seem like it wants to shut the engine off. So I got to figure that out. But we are I'm curious if it'll eventually turn off like this. So, I think it just needs a little bit of a few key cycles on there in order for that to work properly. I mean, this thing is just dirty, really dirty. Just needs a really good washing. Don't really need to do anything to the engine. Gas tank leaves a little to be desired, but it still holds fuel like it should. So. Air filter. Oil was dark, I think, but it was still good. Oil's still not. Oil's actually not bad. Got a little bit of a run on it. A little bit of a leak in the carb, but nothing ridiculous. Air filter. I think I got one here. We'll put one on it. I wonder if the headlights work. We'll find out later. I got hamburgers on the grill, so I gotta be careful as to how much I work with those on the grill. Don't want to burn them. So we'll put an air filter in it. I mean, it just needs some serious maintenance. So we'll start that here next. Alright guys, we've done this, I don't know how many, probably dozens of times on this channel at this point. We're going to take the deck off. So this thing's already got not much left on the deck arm here for the little pin or nail or whatever, but what I like to do is take this off, take the other side off, and fold the arm in, because it makes it kind of like a handle so that you can carry it. Since he's got oil all over him from where that engine's seeped out from somewhere, or been abused or misused or whatever, it should be easy to get out. Should be. That's going to prove to be hard. Well, either way, let me show you the rest of them. I'll get that one off eventually. Number 3 is there. Number 4, you have 2. One clip is back here. It's behind the tensioner pulley. So that's another one. Number 5 is right here. That's for your cable. They didn't put it on right. So that doesn't help matters any. Okay. And then when you just pull this, the blade and gauge cable off. There should be a washer under there, but there's not on that one. Then you just pull this cable out. Hopefully this has still got some go in it. Yeah. I think we can salvage that. Just hook it onto the blade guide, the belt, or the height adjustment. Pull that pin out. You've got 2 on this side, well 3 on this side if you count the one in the front that I tried to get off earlier. One of them's here in the back. Ugh. Oh my goodness. One of them's here on this, right here. Same side for the deck arm. You just take your deck arm and take it off. There we go. That goes down. I'll get the one off in the front off camera because it's taking a while. And then all you gotta do is slide the deck out and you're good. Alright guys, we're gonna pull the deck arm up. That gets all the lift and all that out of the way, and we're just gonna pull the deck out. I'll show you how bad this deck is. It's pretty rough. So here it is. I mean, y'all can see it's really rough. Surprised that it wasn't killing deck spindles or anything like that yet. But you got your crater in the back. You got your soft spots all around. Got some right here in the front. Got some soft spots all around right here. And if you look under the deck, you can see just rust, rust, rust. Blades are not very good. So the operative is, even the deck belt's pretty bad. But oddly enough, the return spring is still on this thing, believe it or not. And the engagement lever still kind of works, so that's kind of cool. This looks like it's a custom spring, so I'll have to make a custom mount for the custom spring on the new mower, because I don't have one of these right now. So, but it seemed like it worked, so I'll put that aside. We will use that on another application coming up. Struggle is real, guys. Struggle is real. There we go. So it's just a little bit longer of a spring than what it needs to be. I could just drill a hole in the front just like here and make it work, because I ain't going to be able to get any deck springs by the weekend. So, torn, because I don't know which deck I want to use. I've got this one over here, which is also a 12 gauge. It's in decent shape, apart from there's a little bit of Swiss cheese in the front right here. Nothing crazy though, it's just right there at the lip, and I don't see anything around the sides or in the front. That's another 12 gauge. Or I've got the regular deck over here, which is somewhat rusted. We can throw some black spray paint on it and probably be alright. But it's, like I said, somewhat rusted. I gotta grind out the grooves in that deck, but at least that pivot arm and stuff moves, unlike the other one out there. Spray paint that and it'll probably be okay. Gotta free the deck spindles up some too, so be a little bit rougher. Discharge sheet's okay too. So we'll see what I end up deciding to do, which one I put on. That one came off of this mower, and that mower has pretty much been stripped out at this point. So I'll figure out which one I want to do. I'll look at the spindles and stuff on the other one, which are probably in better shape. I think I might go with that other 12 gauge one, just because it's going to be a little bit better, I think. Deck spindle wise and everything, but we'll see. I'll figure that out in a minute. So here we got the new deck out here, the one I'm going to put on the mower, and we're just going to take off this. And it's decently rusted. I've had this deck for a few months, and I think it's been set up for a while, so we'll have a little bit of WD-40 and whatever else. So you got your pulley, oh, we got it moving a little bit now. So we've got to get this washer off, which again is relatively rusted, so spray some lubricant on that. Let me get a screwdriver. Once I get those parts, I'll be back and we'll get the rest of it off. Alright, let's spray this. See what we can do here. Just need to get enough leverage on it. There we go. So it's this little rotating washer, the arm, and then this skinny washer. You can see they're all pretty rusted there, so we've got to put it in the vise and just wire brush it. So I'll wire brush all this first, get it nice and smooth, or as smooth as I can get it. I'll take those and put them in the vise and just kind of grind around them. Same thing with this, and that should free everything up. Also, this one, you see these grooves, I've done this many times. You just take an angle grinder and grind those grooves out and kind of smooth that out a little bit so that it'll engage smoothly. Your other groove is right here. You see those grooves in there? It just gets worn in there from the pins, from where the blades are engaged. So I'm gonna do those, do that. I'll do that all off cam because I've done that many times here on the channel. Terrell Fixes All does an amazing tutorial on it. So I'll rejoin you whenever we're putting this back on. I'll show you the after. Alright y'all, so I've kind of grinded the grooves down like I mentioned. As you can see, kind of grinded the edges off a little bit too, just to try and give it a little bit smoother of a blade engagement action. So I'm just going to spray a little bit of, I need to get some more lubricant, huh? Spray a little bit of this on there. We'll start off with the big washer in the bottom. Then we'll put the arm on. I'll leave up the back of it too, and the front, just to fits right in between the blade engagement, the brakes, the blade brakes. So there. A little bit more don't hurt. Pulley goes on. Pretty much goes as far as you can get it over. Because there's like a little stop on the pulley, which stops it before it gets to the deck mount arm there. So, oh, still a little difficult here. Okay, so I think the difficulty is lying right here where the bolts are to put the blade brakes. Probably right here at this one as well. So we're just going to work them back and forth a little bit. It's just a matter of literally just working it back and forth until it gets loose. That's much better. So now what I'm going to do is take that spring that came off the other deck, which is a little bit of a custom spring, I suppose. I'm going to find out where to put it on this deck to where it makes sense. And I have to drill a small hole in the front like it was about the same area on the other deck. So just because I want to get this out this weekend and it'll serve the same purpose. So like that little hole right there, drill that out. You can see that this is just pretty much turned into Swiss cheese, this deck. I mean, it's basically, rotted. So I'm breaking that down. I hope I'm able to save the spindles, and so that I don't have to do that. I might even transfer the deck wheels over, see how easy that is. It shouldn't be that difficult to do because this should have the tabs on the back for it, and it does. So I might just work on that. But so far that's good. I'll make sure the spindles are free and all that good stuff, and then we'll start mounting it onto the mower. So just give me a few, I'll show you what I end up doing. Alright guys, here's the deck. I might hit it with some spray paint real quick just to cover up some of the rusty spots. Just surface rust though, thankfully. Except right here on the front where it's got a little bit of Swiss cheese, but it's not affecting any of the deck mounts or anything. So remember, I'm kind of using what I got here, and this is about the best that I have. Craftsman decks are hard to come by. Obviously this one was Swiss cheese. I've broken this down as far as I'm going to break it down. It's ready to go to the scrap pile, and I will take it whenever. So got this one now ready to roll, ready to put onto the green one in here. So y'all saw how I took it off. I'll go ahead and put it back on the same way I took it off, and see if I've got enough tension on the blade engagement cable in order to get this thing to engage and disengage properly. I'll throw a little bit of lube on it and work it back and forth a little bit, and then we know it runs and drives, and then we'll see if we can get it mowing, and then once we do that, we'll swap the seat out, put a proper seat on this off of a mower that I know I'm not going to be using out there, and that should be it. Yeah, so let me do that, and I'll rejoin you here in just a second. Alright guys, I got the deck on. That return spring actually worked. So I don't know if I told you, the return spring that I used as I trip over my tripod was actually the same spring. So I've got my return spring here. This is actually the same spring as one of the deck arm return springs, believe it or not. That you can see. Where are they on this? There's one on the other side, I know. It's the same spring. It's not the same spring, but it's the same spring that I used for the return spring. It worked just fine. It has a little bit more tension, but it doesn't seem like it's a ridiculous amount because I'm able to returns pretty well, and then I'm able to pull it up pretty easily. So that's kind of nice. So what I'm going to do, get y'all out here, and we'll see if this thing will actually cut some grass with what we got going here. So let's do it. Of course, the carburetor's hydrolock the engine, so let me get the spark plug out and drain the gas out of that. We'll just run it at least for that short amount of time and see what we got going on here. I had a feeling that was going to happen, but based on what it did yesterday, so Somebody kind of put a new spark plug in it. And there she goes. Easy enough. Come on. Couldn't get that mess threaded back in there. Luckily this does have a shut-off switch on it, so I just need to do a carb swap and we'll be fine. I keep those in stock anyways. So let it do its thing and just barely leaking though, but enough to hydrolock it, that's for sure. So I'm going to let it sit for a minute, let the vapors evaporate, and then we'll come back and try and turn it on. Alright y'all, let's see what we've got now. That worked. All right, let's go for a ride, why don't we? And then we'll I don't like the way that pulley is moving. You see it's kind of jumping back and forth a little bit. We'll take it for a couple of rounds and see what happens, I suppose. The blade's engaged pretty well. like it's doing something weird. I might have to go look at it real quick. Yeah, it's trying to smoke the belt for whatever reason. I think that left side deck spindle might be going bad on it. Alright. It's kind of unfortunate. So let me bring it back down here and see if I can get this deck spindle freed up a little bit more. I don't want to be burning up belts. This belt's getting kind of old, so I don't really care about it very much. Might put a different double stack pulley on it though. Alright, so that's that. Yeah, I can smell that belt a little bit. I don't know if it's because of the spindle or if it's because the belt's getting old, but or if it's because of this pulley here. Could be all three of them, honestly. So I'll tell you what, I'm gonna change that double stack pulley out and see what happens with it. Do a little bit more cruising around and see what I can do. Hopefully I don't smoke the belt any more than it already is right here in the back, but that can happen sometimes. So it's almost like it got caught. It didn't get caught on a pulley. It looks like it just got caught on the double stack pulley in the front there. So let me keep on working here and see what I can manage. Alright y'all, a little bit of sun glare there, but that is the finished product of the Craftsman. There you go. So nothing weird, and nothing I haven't shown y'all on the channel. I fixed the brakes. They were pretty easy. They were just seized up a little bit. I've done it to like 5 or 6 on the channel. Just go watch another video. You'll see it in the description, especially on these hunter green looking ones. Put a new carburetor on it because the old one was leaking a little bit. The needle and seat, I ended up having to disable this switch because it was acting a little funny. The ground is still acting a little funny, and I don't know why. It may just be up there on the switch, but it like when you turn off the mower, it takes about 4 or 5 seconds for it to register, but it does turn off, and I've got it to where if you lower the throttle, it'll turn itself off too. So again, this mower's pretty much been sold as soon as I got it done. Kind of hate it that the deck is a little bit eaten out right here and is missing a little guard right there, but the discharge chute helps out to keep you from doing weird things with it. Like I said, a couple of small cosmetic things, like the seat's got a little bit of wear and tear, and then this right here's got a little bit of wear and tear on it, but it doesn't. None of those really affect the operation and the functionality of the mower. And even this little bit of rust spot down here it's not really encroaching on the deck bracket, especially since this is that 12 gauge deck. So I think we're all right on that. I don't detect any oil leaks, like any crazy oil leaks. It's been sitting in the garage for a couple of days, so I just think it's just a matter of this thing hadn't been washed in a long time. Might have a slight leak from the top seal, but I don't see any like dribbling and drizzling. That's just old gas that I had. New air filter on it. Like I said, fresh oil change. I changed out the gas tank because that other gas tank was a little bit bubbled and cracked and stuff, and so Somebody has done a little bit of Franken mowering with this already, because I don't think an LT1000 came with a 12 gauge deck. Maybe it did. And it did not come with a 14.5. It had an 18 on it at one point, so so be it, right? Works great though. Don't have any issues with it. Everything's plugged up and running like it should, apart from that little, I can put that back, but apart from that little deal with the ignition switch, when you turn it off, the headlights even work, so that's good. Sharpen the blades. All the tires have tubes in them except the left front, which I put ATF in. And I've already told the guy it's ready to go, because I cut the entire backyard with it, and it did beautifully. One small little thing is that it seems like so this pulley, I know I kind of discussed, this pulley would not come off, whatever I did. So I ended up taking a wire brush and just wire brushing everything around it to make it as good as it could. It has burnt a little bit of the belt here and there, just from where it's been running around that pulley. I think the more you use it, the better it's going to get. And like I said, I ran the belt for about 30 minutes, and apart from those little small burn spots to where when the belt was not in operation, it's done just fine. So I'm fine with that. The belt's running great regardless still. So I'm going to crank this thing up. Oh, we did put a new battery in it too, but that's pretty much standard issue. So, and I charged the old battery and put it in another mower, so I even had a good battery out of it. That was awesome. So let me crank it up. We'll go for a ride. Took a second to crank. Kind of weird. So it'll eventually turn off. That's weird. Uh-oh. Ignition switch or a grounding issue somewhere. I might try putting a switch on it. Alright, so I might try just swapping the ignition switch. I gotta figure out why it's not grounding though. That should be pretty easy to find though. Alright y'all, so I've got a little bit of work to do with wiring, unfortunately. I found this mess right here, and that explains why I had mess that was partially working, not working. And this wire right here going to the connector on the magneto stator, excuse me, needs to be addressed too. So I need to get to work. I need to roll on this because I need to get, probably only got about a half hour to manage this. I'll show you the finished product though. Alright guys, so here I've done two things. One, I eliminated the whole backfire solenoid. Two, I added a coil wire because there was not a coil wire on this. Explains why, explains what they did when they had the safety switch unplugged while it would still run and all that good stuff. But I don't know why it was acting like it was. I don't know. But I found a missing bolt I need to put in. Hopefully it's not stripped out in here. It's not. So I just need to put a new bolt in there. Put that bolt back on. I'll get it all buttoned back up, and then I'll let y'all officially see the final product before I load this thing up and take her on out to wherever it's going. Actually, I know where it's going. I'm just being funny. Alright y'all, this should go much better this time. Hope. Should have all the safety switches and stuff working too, which is great. Better. Brakes work good. This thing is so slow in reverse. All the newer ones are. Got good lift. It cut the backyard pretty well too. Got a lot of pine cones to pick up. That noise is just because the blade brakes don't have anything on them. That's pretty common with these too. It'll still stop the blades. I don't know why it's surging a little bit right there. Runs good with runs good at full throttle though. Doesn't surge with the blades on either. All right, excellent. think the ammeter works anymore, but that worked out pretty well. I'll check the battery, make sure it's charging one more time. It seemed like it was. It was charging kind of like 12.5 volts, and these don't really charge at a ridiculous amount. And it did go down whenever I powered it down. So I'll double check to make sure that works one more time. But in essence, this thing is done, ready to rock and roll. Again, when I originally got this mower, excuse me, when I originally got the mower, it had that rotted out deck on it, but it did run. Had that other seat on it, and that explains why they took the ground wire off for the coil. But it doesn't explain why it would still cut off after a couple of seconds. Only thing I could guess is that it finally like turned off the plunger for the anti-backfire solenoid. So I think that's what was going on. We've wired that up. We've got all the switch and everything working again like it should, safety switches and everything. So I think I'm fairly satisfied with that. Obviously, it's not the best in terms of cosmetics, but it does. I mean, it ran. It cut my backyard excellent earlier. That's all you can really ask for. Again, I'm selling it to them for $450 in addition to a package deal here with the DLT1000 that y'all kind of seen in this video. This is where this one's going. I'm actually loading it up now and taking it. So I'm glad I found that wiring issue. But yeah, I think she's ready to go. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I know I didn't show everything, but I did show the deck. I didn't show the brakes and whatnot, but there's a ton of videos I've got out there on that, and I'm sure that they'll show up in the playlist if you're watching my videos. Can't really ask for much. These old LT1000s just keep on cruising, so if you were to go out and buy a used mower, go buy one of these. You can't get any simpler than these, really, to work on and fix, and I can crank one of these out in about an afternoon or two. I mean, it doesn't take very long. So thank y'all for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Again, I have my website, ellismowers.com. It's where you can find my email, my Instagram, Facebook, and all the stuff to stay connected with me if that's your thing. Thank y'all for all the support as always, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. See you then.